She didn't know it yet, but he had been planning the proposal for weeks. He didn't want a fancy dinner, a big stage, or a sky full of fireworks. He wanted something that was just them, something real. Something imperfect, the same way she beautifully was. It was a quiet evening. They were walking by the lake, her hand tucked into the crook of his arm, his thumb brushing softly over her knuckles. She didn't notice how nervous he was or the way he kept checking his pocket. But she did notice he kept taking these deep breaths, like he was getting ready for something big. She tilted her head and asked, "You okay?" He just smiled. "Yeah, just." Thinking, but before he could pull out the ring, before the words could even form, she stumbled on absolutely nothing and fell right into him. He caught her instantly. Of course he did. He always did. She groaned, totally embarrassed. "Ooh, I ruined the moment, didn't I?" He laughed softly. "No? You made the moment." She blinked up at him, confused. "What? How?" He pulled the small ring box from his pocket, opened it, and said, "Because there has never been a single version of my future that didn't include catching you. Exactly like this." Her eyes widened. Her hands flew to her mouth, and she whispered his name like it meant everything. He took a slow breath. "I don't want perfect. I want you. Your stumbles, your spills, your chaos, your heart, everything that makes you. You." He dropped to one knee, not smoothly, not gracefully, but more like a guy whose heart was beating too fast to coordinate his own legs. He held up the ring. "So, will you let me spend the rest of my life loving you, catching you, and tripping through everything together?" For a second, she just stared, shocked, shaking, and completely overwhelmed. Then she tried to step toward him and nearly tripped again. He caught her with one arm while still kneeling, and they both burst into laughter. Through her tears, she whispered, "Yes, yes, of course, yes." He slipped the ring onto her shaky finger. She pulled him up, wrapped her arms around his neck, and whispered into his shoulder, "I always thought my clumsiness was a flaw." He held her tighter. "No, it's the story of how I fell in love with you." They kissed messy, happy, and beautifully imperfect. And in that moment, with her still stepping on his shoe and him still laughing into her hair, they both realized something simple. Love doesn't need perfection. It just needs people willing to catch each other every single time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more love stories.